Hello, class. This is Dr. D, and I'm here to talk to you today about outlining. If you remember correctly from a previous lecture, the writing process includes pre-writing, and part of the pre-writing process is outlining. So there are several things you do in pre-writing, or if you remember correctly, you do brainstorming, you work on getting your resources and your information together, you organize your thoughts, and you complete an outline. So you've done several parts of this pre-writing process already, but now we're ready to start doing some outlining. But why would you even bother to outline? Why not just begin writing your paper? Why is there this need to do outlining? Well, outlining serves a purpose for you as part of your pre-writing. It will organize your thoughts. You know, sometimes you think ideas go together and really they don't. They need to go into a different section. I know when some of you did your peer reviews, that was an issue that you put feedback about a certain aspect of the writing in one section when it needed to go into another section. So this is a way to organize your thoughts and figure out where everything needs to go to make your paper flow and be consistently organized. Also, it makes sure that you cover everything needed. You're going to have a writing rubric, which you've all had experience with in this class, and you're going to also have potentially a rubric for your research paper or your policy paper. So you need to make sure you cover all the parts of the rubric. If you do an outline, you'll notice immediately if a part is missing. Also, it provides limits for your paper. You certainly don't want to have way too much information. You want to have just the right amount of information. So you don't want to go outside of the organization that you've set up for yourself. It also assists you with the entire writing process. It's kind of like the bricks in your foundation. If you don't have a good foundation or a good organization for your thoughts in the form of an outline, you may, in the writing process, forget things, mess things up, miss important parts of the information that needs to be there. Anything can happen. And I will say personally, when I've done team writing, then an outline is invaluable because then you can divide up your work in the team based on your outline. So you all sit together and do your outline, but then each person gets assigned parts of the outline. It makes it much easier to write in a team, which many of you will be doing when you get out into the field. Also, there's some different types of outlines that I want to talk about for you. So one of the types is the alphanumeric outline. Now, personally for me, I start with an alphanumeric outline. And you can see on this slide there, this is actually from the OWL website. There is a sample handout that has three different outline formats on it. But this is the kind of outline I always start with. I start with an alphanumeric outline. So I have the Roman numerals, then I have the A's and B's, and I have the numbers, the ones and twos. And so and then this outline goes down even further to a lowercase a and a ones and twos in the parentheses. So you can see you can go down to as many levels as you want. One thing I will say about alphanumeric outlines is they don't include, as you see, any references. So typically, I either do an alphanumeric outline or I do a combination of an alphanumeric outline and a full sentence outline. And when I get to that point where I've then started putting in portions of my information in as I'm actually writing parts of the sentence. So what I will do, let's go back. I will have an alphanumeric outline. So I might say choose desired colleges, visited and evaluate college campuses is my first bullet point. So what I would do in my full sentence outline is I would make a sentence about that. The first step in the college application process is to choose desired colleges and period. And so if I had a reference at this point, I would add that in. So, I would have my I would have my sentence there, and I would add in my reference right there at the end. That way, And then I would start an APA reference list, and I would make sure that my reference was down here as well. So I'd have my reference there, I'd have it here. This is really going to help you to prevent plagiarism as well. So it's a really good habit. Whenever you are doing your full sentence outline, you can put your reference there and in a reference list, and it won't be left out. If it's a direct quote, you put quotes. You know, in the case I just mentioned, I made up the sentence completely. But if some other source had said that this is the first step in the college application process, and I'm just paraphrasing what they said, I need to make sure that I put the source right there. And typically what I do is a combination of both, because once you get to the point where you're writing a full sentence outline, you just take the points out, and then you've got in each each A is a paragraph supported by your 1s, 2s, and 3s. And so, you would, at that point, you would have the start of your paper. It would be practically written, because you've already got your sources in there, you've got your full sentences. So I generally do a combination where I start with my alphanumeric outline, any particular quotes or whatever I want, I put in my full sentence outline, and I start writing sentences. And then once I get to the point where that's pretty well fleshed out, that's when I then go ahead and just start writing the paper. But how does that even help you with APA? How does a full sentence outline even help you with APA at all? Well, I can tell you that in an alphanumeric outline, your APA headings and subheadings are created with your main points. So fully, your APA is there already, because you've already done these particular things. So if you look at the alphanumeric outline here, choosing desired colleges would be one of your main headings. Now, you're going to have to know APA in the different levels of heading to do that. But I did want to, but again, it's very easy to see this is a heading, this is a subheading, this is a subheading. And then your sentences underneath there are going to be your points that fall within it. I did want to show you quickly a resource that I noticed that I think you might find useful. This is an APA paper. If you go to Word, you click Open, you click New, and you look for an APA online templates. Under New, all you do, APA. Here's an APA style report, and it's in the 6th edition, which is what you need. So you click on this, and you can see it is the format for you. It's got the page numbers, it's got the running head, it's got the abstract, it's got what you're supposed to. So all you do is then you go in here and you put in whatever you want to put in. So for my running head, I might want to have choosing a college. And so my title it's going to be longer usually, because that's just a shortened part version. Now you're not going to have those brackets. It's going to be omitted when you go there to begin your work. But you can just type in choosing a college, the ins and outs, I don't know. And then you're going to put your name. And it tells you even how to do it. Your first, your middle initial, and your last name. You do not put titles and degrees. And then you have to put Western Kentucky University. Then you may or may not have an author note. If you have a grant, you have to acknowledge that. Then you have an abstract. Then you have your headings. It even has the different levels of headings started here for you. So here's where you put your title. This is your introduction. Then you have your first main heading. That would be your new Roman numeral 1. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this resource. Anybody that has Word has this resource. It even kind of explains how to add a table of contents and how to use the different headings up here. It's because you have different levels of headings, right? So it even gives you a tutorial throughout this template. It even has a reference page. Now, if you use this, it will really help you with your APA formatting. I know some of you have struggled with this. So, okay, that's the end of my outlining seminar, or my little lecture here. I hope it's helpful for you, and I do hope that you are enjoying the class so far.